I love my father. I love my father.
Damn, son.
I'm trying to come up with the.
What's up, y'all? It's Ohan back again with another interview for PandorasMusicBoxx. Today we're joined with another special guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
I'm the 3RD coming from Broward County, Florida.
I'm geeked to pieced up, no photos. One sip, one red cut, that's solo. Those act to turn it, that's like, oh no. I be outside, I be trying to ride dolo.
What's up, 3? What's up? What's up?
I'm good. How you been?
It's great. I've been good. How you been, bro?
Been good, man. Life's blessing me recently.
He just hit me up before this. He got a show with Jay Critch. He opened it for Jay Critch.
Yes, sir.
It's funny how I was introduced to your music in the first place.
What's up?
I don't know if you know, me and your younger brother, he goes by, his right name is Rolex, but Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him was homeboys in middle school, and he put me onto your music. And I've been listening ever since, like 2018. Like I think I was in 9th grade or something.
Oh shoot! Shout out to Mike of Rollins.
Shout out Mike. Pistol Pete was the first song that I had listened to.
Pistol Pete. Wow.
Now I got heat on me. Nigga, it's the 3, I'm dropping dimes. OG, feel like Pistol Pete, you can't get shit for free.
He put me onto your music, and I've been listening ever since, like 2018. Like I think I was in 9th grade or something.
Oh shoot! Shout out to Mike of Rollins.
Shout out Mike. Pistol Pete was the first song that I had listened to.
Pistol Pete. Wow.
Pete, man. So I wanted to ask you, so what is I've been listening for a while, but like I don't know, what does the 3RD mean? Like, what does it mean?
What does it mean? That's actually because I'm the third Lance in like my family. So my dad was a junior and I'm the third. So really, I was gonna put the numbers, but it was just like whack to me, so I spelled it out. That's all of it. That's all it really is.
So the third. Oh, okay, I get it.
The third, yeah, but it's the 3RD, yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. Fuck with that. I was looking at your project, like your songs and stuff, your discography on Apple Music, and I noticed that you have Bandit Boys attached to some of your most recent work, Bandit Boy Records. Is
Yeah.
that something that you started?
Yeah, that's something that we started. That's our in-house label. We also have a production company and we're starting to throw our own shows. So we have Bandit Boy Records, Productions, and Bandit Bash as the show page.
Okay, that's dope. So how many artists do you like, besides from you, how many artists do you have on the collective so far?
Really, we have 4. It's me, it's my brother, my cousin, and my other friend Juan. So
That's amazing. It's amazing. From Miramar, Florida, Broward County. You talked about how it was growing up in Miramar.
So I have to clear it up a little bit because we didn't spend our whole life in Miramar. Like I was in Georgia for half of my life. So from 8 to 16, I was in Georgia. I was in Florida before that, but then we moved back when I was 17.
Oh man, that's dope.
So when we came back, then I was in Miramar. So it's not like I really grew up there. I kind of just spent the rest of my high school years in Miramar. But in Miramar, it was cool. It was strange because it was like the high school I went to was Everglades, and it was like in an area where there was super like rich families, but everybody was like middle class. So they acted like they were like uppity and stuff, but like in actuality, everybody was just middle class. It was just strange. It was just weird to me.
I feel that. Yeah, that's how like I grew up in Pembroke Pines, and that's kind of how it was a little bit.
Yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Listening to your music, you sound like the comparison that I would give you, I don't really like to compare people too much, but you give me G59 vibes. Like
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that? I don't even listen to them.
yeah,
Somebody told me about them, and they were like, "Yo, you remind me of a Night Lavelle, right?" And he's part of G59. So I was like, "Who is that?" And this happened last year. Some dude in Canada who I did a feature with. He was like, "Yo, you remind me of Night Lavelle," and I was like, "Who is that?" He was like, "You don't know who that is?" So I looked it up, and I was like, "Okay, I see the comparison. I get it. It's like a lot of minor keys, so the beats sound eerie and like
yeah,
dark. So I get it, but yeah, I actually don't listen to them like that. I started listening to them because I just heard of them, but yeah,
that's crazy. I think you know what? I think that's just like I think it's just a Florida sound in general, to be honest. Because you know Denzel, you listen to Denzel Curry,
yeah,
Raider Gang, like how he had
yeah.
that.
Raiders Clan, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that's just like a Florida thing. So
definitely, definitely. I remember Raiders Clan vividly. That was super. That was a great time.
I would definitely love to see like you know one day G59 and the 3RD link up for a song. That'd be dope.
That would be really crazy. Soon, maybe. We making some moves, so it might happen sooner than you think.
And um, one of your songs, "How We Do."
How we do.
Um, did you produce that or did you have somebody produce that for you?
No, that was actually produced because it's a Florida song by a Florida producer named Chupi.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you about the sample. The sampled Min Me and New Jabez. I don't know if you know New Jabez.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
I was listening to that. I'm like, hold up, this sounds just like
New Chavez. Yeah. So when I heard the beat, that's initially why I picked it. I was like, yo, this is like some jazzy New Chavez type thing. And then I talked to the guy and he was like, that's actually who I sampled. And I was like, that's crazy.
that's,
So
do you like watch anime and stuff? Is that
I
like
love watching anime. Yeah.
that's dope? That's dope. I can tell. I can tell. So what's like your favorite anime?
My number one favorite anime, I don't care what nobody says, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho, yo.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Funny thing about Yu Yu Hakusho, I was hating on that shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Bruh.
I was-
Why was you hating on it? Because it takes forever to start up?
that and because I was born in 2003, bro. Like I'm watching it. I think the first time I started watching it was when I was in high school, and I'm like, this is some old head shit. Like this information is old as hell. Every time they fight, I'm not getting excited. Like
Oh my God. I guess it is old head shit. It's a classic though. Like, I don't know.
it is. I definitely got to give it another chance though, because
Yeah.
I was into Inuyasha and stuff, so I don't know why I was hating on Yu
Yeah, no, come on, man.
Yu
That's even worse than Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, if you go by like the style, that's way older looking.
That's facts, man. I don't know why I was on that. But what else do you like to do outside of music, like for fun?
Outside of music for fun, I definitely like to design clothes and work on cars.
Oh, design clothes. You think you're gonna like launch any clothing brand stuff type of thing?
Definitely. Definitely that's coming in the future. I have a bunch of designs that I have on my phone and stuff, and like certain pieces that I've already created.
That's dope. I would definitely cop some
Yeah.
3RD.
I'm gonna make some hard stuff. Don't worry. I'm gonna hook you up. Don't worry about it.
Bet. Um, what are some of your I know you're upcoming artists and stuff. Have you done any shows outside of Florida before?
Yeah, we've been to New York and also Georgia.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You ever plan on or have you ever been close to coming out west? Maybe Cali?
Um, like what? Cali and Texas?
Yeah.
They've been trying to get me to go to Texas because I have a few people that are out there and they're like, bro, you can come out here and they'll show you love. So I'm trying to get out there. I actually have an aunt out there too. So
Oh,
it
perfect.
would be nice to visit her as well as do that. But Cali, my cousin Global Bands, he be out there all the time and he's saying, yo, we got to start booking shows out here. So that should be coming soon. I'm not gonna lie.
You for sure should, man.
We looking at a lot of like touring things like coming up.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. So what are some of your favorite things about being an upcoming artist, and some of your least favorite?
Literally that. Like that's my favorite thing and my least favorite thing. Being an upcoming artist itself is like it's so fun and I feel like it's super genuine most of the time. Like you really get to see who people are, but at the same time, it's like you're an upcoming artist, so there's like no type of respect that you're gonna get from anybody. That's another thing that like is actually the same thing that I hate. I love the underground scene because it's gotten to the point. I don't know if you know, like I used to open up for like members only and stuff. So I seen like when you're talking about Raiders Clan, I seen all the waves and it's like progressed and stuff. So that's one of the things that I love about it is like you see where things originate and then when it finally gets the recognition it deserves, it's like really cool. So
That's wild, man. So how long have you been like doing music?
like 7 to 8 years.
7, 8 years. Damn.
Yeah. Originally, okay, so when I got out of high school, originally I was not gonna go to college until I realized that you could go to college for like audio engineering.
Yeah.
So that I stopped like really putting out music and I was learning how to mix and master at that time. And also the business, like we were taking music business and theory and stuff like that. So I was learning a lot about it and it made me almost not like it.
It's too
Like the theory, yeah, like music theory made me not like music as much because all the hit songs you hear, you start to realize they're only hit songs because of theory. Like they were using theory specifically to make you like it. It's
yeah.
not like they were just creating. Like there's certain people who just created, like Bob Marley.
Yeah.
There's some people who like just naturally just created things, and you're like, "Ah." But when you figure out there's a formula, it kind of like I don't know. I don't listen to the music that comes out the same anymore. Like when I hear it, I was like, you're using these chords and these keys for this reaction from me. So
Yeah, that is kind of dampen your like
yeah, like you can literally control somebody, invoke emotions in people, like depending on what you're using.
that's
So
correct. Speaking of Bob Marley, I wanted to ask about your heritage real quick.
yeah,
You
it's long ass.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Mike told me that he was Jamaican. So y'all are Jamaican.
Yes, we are Jamaican.
Y'all gotta be mixed with something else though, right? I'm tripping or
We're mixed with everything, bro.
everything.
We're Cuban, Jamaican, Indian, Chinese. Like there's another form of India. I'm forgetting. We're two different types. It's Syrian and another thing. I'm forgetting the other one. But like we're just mixed up with everything.
That's so wild. Like everything you just named, I can see it. Like every
Right?
single. So you have 3 EPs to your name for. Is there
I
any?
used to have a tape and I deleted it.
I was looking. I'm like, he gotta have a tape somewhere. Like,
I had a tape out called what was it? Trial and Error. And I deleted that tape. I don't know what I was going through, but that was like in my era where I was like on a super New York 90s type vibe.
yeah.
And
Wait,
I don't know why I just deleted it. It was a really good tape too. I just deleted it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
do you still have like the files and stuff? You can re-upload.
I so that's the thing. The files are somewhere. Like we had it on a laptop at one of my like cousin's houses, and I don't know if he still has a laptop or not. But the whole project was on there, plus like a bunch of other stuff. I don't know if it's still alive or not, but yeah, I definitely did have a tape out. But don't worry, I got a tape coming out this year. Third time's a charm.
Okay, okay.
It's gonna be a full tape.
I was
Yeah.
just ask you if you have any plans for like an album or like a full length project.
Yeah, I have like ADHD, so that's why I don't have full tapes out like that. So it's like I'll get stuck on a vibe. Like you can hear it in the EPs. Like you can see the vibe from the EPs and stuff like that. and like I'll be like, all right, this is cool, but like I hate keep like doing the same thing over and over. So it's like when I get in that like try hard, it's like a dark, eerie vibe. It's like I don't want to sit there and record dark, eerie stuff for 12 to 20 tracks. You feel me? Like so I like lose, I guess, focus when it comes to full length. But I have two full length tape like recorded. They're just not out yet.
Okay, that's dope. So, what was it? Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm, yeah.
What's the like? Do you have any focus for that? Like the
Um
whatever?
it's not one of them like albums where it's like, oh, it's telling you a story. Well, that's a lie. Cause in certain songs, I'm actually telling like stories. Like you'll hear them like 7 to 11. I'm just giving you a rundown of basically how my whole 2023 and 2022 was. Like you'll hear it in the song. I'm gonna rap it and you're gonna be like, damn, this is where he was living every single day. Literally. So there's gonna be like some songs where I'm telling you like what's happening, but it's not like focused on telling you my life story or anything. It's just a collection of songs that I like. And I scrapped it 3 times. That's why it's called Third Time's a Charm.
That's actually hard.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. We got any release dates for it, or
Release dates, I want to say October 28th on my birthday.
okay?
Yeah.
Um, so I'm on the West Coast right now. Like I've been here since like eighth grade, so I feel like I'm pretty in tune with both coasts, East and West.
Yeah.
There's like a mini. I don't know if you keep in touch with Joey Badass or Kendrick Lamar and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, a mini rap war going on.
Between them?
Yeah, like a mini coastal rivalry. Like,
Right now, like when did that start?
yeah, like TDE camp is going after Joey because Joey's the only one that really when Kendrick made like that call to to any rapper that want to challenge him, Joey's the only one that took the challenge up and he dropped a couple songs and then TDE camp basically jumped that nigga. Like this was crazy.
Wait, time out, time out. This is from the Control verse or from this year?
From the Control verse and from this year, like with the whole Drake Kendrick thing.
I did not even know that. That's news to me, bro. Wait, so they like really put hands on him for real, like, or is it just like
Nah, it's just like
their
some,
rapping beef type
yeah,
shit?
yeah, it's just some like rap, like I'm better than you.
Rap beef.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
yeah,
That's
you
news.
gotta check that out. You gotta check that out.
That's news, bro. That's crazy because like I just heard one of Joey's shits that he just did, and I seen a interview with him coming out like a clothing store, and they said they was trying to fight him there. They was like trying to press him at that store. So I was like, is that? I'm trying to see if that's what it was. But you telling me it's like some internet stuff. So
Nah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's some internet stuff. I forgot what the song was called, but he had a couple bars in there aimed at the West Coast.
now
I
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you your like, regardless if you knew about that situation or not. I was gonna ask you who do you think would win in that like West versus East battle?
Well, what do you mean, like just music wise, like
Music and bars, we gotta combine the two.
music and bars? See, that's harder. But that's so hard, bro. That's so hard for me to decide. Like when you think about bars, you think East. You think like, Biggie and stuff like that. But at the same time, music, you think of the vibe, you're thinking West. So combination of both, very few people have that. But like the people you're talking about have that, but like it's not very common that people are gonna have bars and a really good vibe. So I honestly can't say. But if you're gonna ask me,
Yeah.
like I told you, who has more bars and who has more like better music that you're gonna listen to, hits and stuff, I'm gonna tell you, hits is going to the West, bars is going to the East.
Okay.
That's just how I feel. I could be totally wrong, but that's just how I feel.
That's valid. I feel like when people think about the East, they forget about down south like Atlanta and
They definitely forget about down south. Okay, so if you want to say that, but I still feel like the West, they just have this vibe, bro. I don't know.
just got it.
They just have this vibe. I don't know. It might just be my taste. I don't know.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair. That's extremely valid. Um, so what music have you been listening to recently? Like,
Recently, I've been very selective. I don't so what's so funny is just like I told you earlier, I don't really listen to G59. I started to, but I don't really consume too much other music other than my own.
that makes sense.
Um Recently though, like new people that I've been listening to is like Retta and this guy named Rocket. He's like kind of super new. Outside of that, I always listen to Absol. That's my number one favorite artist all time, dead or alive. Absol. I listen to him all the time. So right now it's him. He dropped a new tape, Soul Burger, that I have in rotation, and I also been listening to Tape Wise, the new Cardi that just dropped. So
Okay.
I've listened to that like two times. I've listened to I Am Music two times. So
How do you feel about iron music? A lot of people have mixed reviews on that.
very okay. So I see why people have a lot of mixed reviews on it. I myself enjoyed it. I thought it took a little bit to start up. I didn't start really liking the tape until I was 8 tracks in.
Eight tracks in.
Yeah, I had a conversation about Mike with that. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if it's the headphones I'm using, but I'm just like not feeling this right now. And then when I hit like the 8 track, I was like, okay, I really like this. And then from there on, it was like hit, and I was liking everything. So I don't know if it's like age or I just don't understand on the first ones. Like I said, I've only listened to it twice, but
Yeah,
like the first couple of songs for me is kind of hard to listen to.
that's valid. Um, kind of a little bit same here, and also the fact that it's 30 fucking songs long.
It's thirst. Yo, that's a lot of me. I don't understand why people do tapes that long. If I'm being real with you, I just I don't know what the point reason is. I mean, if you go 30 for 30 on Billboard, not a
Yeah,
lot of people have done that, and that's what he did. So maybe that's why he did it, just to say I could do this. But I just think that's too long. I think tapes, if you ask me, should be like 10 to 15 songs.
yeah, I agree. So what's the longest tape we're ever gonna get from the 3RD?
So it's not fair because now my music, the songs are very short. So if I gave you 30 tracks, time wise, it would probably still only be like 20 minutes long. You wouldn't have like an hour long album type thing.
Yeah.
So me, the third time's a charm right now. If I don't add anything else to it, which I'm debating, it's only 15 tracks.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, you feel me? I feel like it's a decent amount, and it's been a long time since I dropped the tape, and I know people want it. So I was like, I can't just give them 10. I was like, I got to give them a little bit more. So yeah.
Um, so what is you mentioned Absol. What is your like who are some dream collabs that you would it could be anybody, underground, poppin', anybody.
Dream collabs. That's hard. Definitely Absol. That would be amazing. I also like Most Def. He's super old. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you my age. A Most Def collab. Well, now he goes by Yasin Bey. I believe that's his real name. Um, that would be dope. There's just so many people I'd like to work with. I definitely would like to work with Lucky.
Oh,
Yeah, Lucky would be, I feel like a dope. You probably can't see it from what I have out now, but there's a few songs that when you hear it, you'll be like, okay, I get why he would say that.
no, I could definitely see those two styles. Like,
Yeah, and that's another thing. I like to like in the you'll see in the tape, but like recently I've been trying to mix the subgenres
mhm.
into one song. Like so things like I would like to see Lucky with a Denzel Curry, things like that. I would be like, that would be super dope. How will we do it? I'll try to like take it on as my own. and do that. So you'll see it. But outside of that, Icy Twat. I don't know if you listen to Icy Twat.
Yeah,
That I
yeah.
think it would be super dope to get a collab with him, bro. I really listened to one of my favorite songs from him is Eyes on Him.
Uh,
If
I
you
don't
never
know.
heard that, you have to listen to that, yo, because he produces all his stuff. Yo, the production is crazy on that.
It's funny. I don't think I've ever heard I see Twat rap. Maybe like once or twice, but I just know him as a producer strictly only.
Yeah, so that's how I knew him too. Like I was like, oh, whatever, and I would look up type beats, and then one day I realized that he raps. I was like, oh, he raps, and I know that it was gonna be good because producers know what like the rapper is supposed to sound like on the beat that they make. So I
Yeah,
was like, it's got to be good. So I click on it, and I'm like, oh, this is fire. And then like a year later, he started dropping more, like just way more stuff. And Eyes on Him came out, and I just been bumping that. That's in my playlist for like a year now, a year and a half. I'm still every day. It's like a theme song. I just put it on. Like I roll it. I get in my car. That's like the first thing that I put on.
it's hard.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask about your not only your songwriting process, but well, first let's start with production. Your beat selection, I really fuck with your beat selection. It's insane.
It's
Um,
cool, right?
yeah, yeah, that shit is cold as fuck. Have you ever tried to produce your own songs or like?
Yeah, I have. I've made a few beats, bro. Like, I'm not terrible at it. I just need more work. You're gonna see more of that stuff coming from me in the future, though. Mike has been learning it, so he's been teaching me. So
Okay,
like, he's been producing and he's getting really good. And he's been teaching me these things. So I was like, yo, I'll be able to make my own stuff because we're looking to like put our songs into like movies and video games and stuff. But you
yeah,
have to have full rights over everything. So not just your lyrics, you gotta own the beat and stuff. So there's no discrepancies when you sign things and people get paid. They're like, yo, we want you to have full ownership. It's just easier for them to deal with.
yeah,
So I will be producing like, but it's hard. Like what you hear, and that's why it's like hard for me to put music out because I don't come across things that are good enough, in my opinion. I'm very like when I'm listening to beats to choose what to work on, I take a lot of time to like sit there and find those that you hear and like
I feel you, man. Because I'm trying to make music too, bro. And I used to try to produce when I was like in ninth grade on
what
that
happens.
video, man.
That shit hard, right?
Bro, it's hard as hell, bro.
FL Studio made me quit, bro. I tried to do it and I was just like, bro, I can't do it. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Um,
What type of beats were you making though?
I was trying to, bro. I was on the I don't know if you know like Cash Dami and like
Yeah. Yeah.
I was on that type of wave. I was trying to make them. I would get through the piano, like the bass level of the beat, like the piano and shit.
Yeah.
And when it came to like added 808s and like hi hats and stuff, I was like, oh my god. Like,
You're the complete opposite of me. Like I always gotta lay the drums first. That's what I care about most. Anytime I'm listening to a beat,
no,
I look for drums and like the patterns and stuff.
same. I feel that. I just couldn't do it, man.
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's a hard thing to do. I feel like the more I would do it, the easier it would get. But it's like FL made me quit. It was way easier to make beats in like Logic. I'm not gonna lie.
For real?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's so easy to make beats in Logic.
y'all, you crazy man, man. I think you're the first person to ever say that.
Logic is like the Chuck E. Cheese of like DAWs when it comes to production. If you ask me, like it was just so easy for me to like kick out a beat. I don't
Yeah.
know. FL was so hard for me. I don't know why. I think just like you said, I think I'm the only person with that take, but it's just my life. I don't know.
Shit, I can't wait to hear your beats and Mike's beats too. It's gonna be dope. Um, so what is your writing process? How do you said you got ADHD? Like,
Yeah, so that's what my writing process is that and I kick everybody out the studio. Cause like my writing process is so all over the place. It's like you could literally see. I've never been diagnosed with none of this, but like you'll be like, yo, there's something wrong with this guy. So my writing process, I can be somebody who sits there and writes out a song, like just listen to the beat and sit there and write lyrics.
Yeah.
And in the tape, the last EP I dropped, Try Hard is like the perfect example. Like Rebirth, I sat there and I wrote those. I wrote that whole song. Mopar, I freestyled that song.
Oh damn.
And Bridges, I wrote that song. So it was like it just depends on what I'm doing. And when I hear the beat, it's like it's super ADHD, bro. It's really bad. Like if you see the process, you'd be like, how does he even get anything done? And then I'll stop, I'll like make the hook, and then I'll stop and just like do random stuff and then come back like 15, 20 minutes later and then start the verse or the bridge or whatever. But if you ask me structure wise, how I start off the song, it's always with the hook. I'll be listening to the beat and then I'll try to figure out, okay, what am I gonna say on the hook? Because nowadays I feel like that's one of the most important things of the song. When I first started off, it was always verses for me. So if you like go back in time and like look at like my older stuff, you could definitely tell I was trying way harder on the verses than the hooks. But now it's like when I make a song, college messed me up. Like I told you, theory messed me up. When I make a song, the first thing I do is the hook. Then I'll look at if there's space for a bridge and then the verse. And then I'll just, and then when I go back, so my structure now, because everything's short, I try to make it feel like a full song. So it'll be intro, hook, bridge, verse, bridge, hook, outro, but it'll be a 2-minute song. You feel? So because it's so short, I want to make it feel like, okay, it feels like I'm listening to something full in. Because you can tell like some songs they leave you wanting more, which is the best thing. You want them to want more. You don't want them to listen to a 4-minute song and be like, all right, bro, I don't even know if I want to hear the second half of this. I think I've had enough. So other than that, if I'm really writing, it's opposite. If I'm listening to a beat and I really want to say something, I'm not doing the hook first. I'm doing the verse first. So I have I guess you could say I have two different processes. My one where I'm like more trying to catch the vibe. I'm listening to the beat and I don't have my notepad out on my phone at all. I just click record and start like doing melodies and like rhythms. I'm not really saying words, I guess. And then when I find it, I'll click space, stop it, and I'll listen to it, and then I'll fit words into it.
That's dope. So that's actually really good because I feel like a lot of people that have one way of writing their songs, they have writer's block a lot. And
so that's why I started doing that. That I'm happy you said that. That's exactly why I started doing that. I used to get writer's block a lot, like very badly, and I was like, why can't I do this? And then I ran into somebody along the way, my dog Juan, and he was the opposite of me. He would freestyle everything. And I just would watch him. And you'll hear it in 7 to 11 on the tape. I might send you that track. You might be able to listen to it before everybody. I might just email it to you. He would just sit there and I'm watching him and he'll just freestyle and freestyle. So I'm soaking up game at the same time. You are who you are around. And then when he would leave, I would like go and try and fail and fail and fail and fail. And then eventually I started getting good at it. So I was like, okay, so now I could do this. And now I use both and I flip back and forth. So if I get stuck on one, I'll go to the other way and like vice versa.
Dude, that's dope, man. So when you're freestyling, do you still like keep in your mind what you want the hook to be, or are you just
no, like initially, no.
nah?
It's really just gibberish. And then like it's just like I don't know how to explain it. I just get up there and I say things that sounds like words, but it's not really words. But I'm just finding the rhythm. And then when I find the rhythm, I go. But there's strange one-time occurrences sometimes where I'll like one take, like actually say words in one take of freestyle.
Okay.
And the ones that I do that on are like they're like really, really good. There's one I have that's coming out soon called Crimson Prince. That was a one take freestyle.
The whole thing.
The whole thing, if you look at the session, it's just one track, except for the ad libs where I'm doubling after it was done. Because it just needed a little extra something, you feel me? But
Yeah.
that is rare. I'm not one of them people that's like Juice World where it's like I could just really
Hey, but practice makes,
it do make perfect. Like it do make perfect. I'm one of them people that's like a lawnmower. It's like I gotta crank a few times and then I'm gonna get one off and it start like making sense. But yeah, that's like my process. I have two main ones. And if I get lucky, I do a one take freestyle type thing.
That's funny because like the first time I've heard of that melodic, like you just saying whatever and then you
Yeah.
fit words into it. The first time I heard that was Tory Lanez on.
That's where I heard it too. Cause I was doing it before I saw that interview. And then when I saw the interview, I was like, that's crazy because I don't sing.
Yeah.
But like who I learned this from, he sings. So I only knew how to do it like a singer, but obviously when you're hearing my music, you're not hearing like me sing. But I did that on Rebirth. Like I wrote it, but the background vocal on the verse,
Yeah.
that it was like what I was freestyling into the mic. That's where I did that. And then I was like, yeah, but I can't leave this as the main. I was like, I'll put it in the back. I'll put it in the back somewhere.
No, that's hard, man. That's hard. I want to circle back to the Jay Critch announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that how did that happen?
That was a super surprise, but we've been putting in work in like the community out here. We've been throwing shows, like I told you, Bandit Bash, and we met somebody called Nick Spacely, and he throws shows as well. And he just randomly hit me up, like I'm clocking out of work, and he just randomly hit us up. He was like, "Hey, you guys want to collab on a show soon?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, cool, but do you also want to perform tomorrow?" And I was like, "Where at?" And then he was telling me, "Yeah," and then you'll be opening for Jay Critch, and I was like, "All right, bet." So I hit Global. I hit my cousin, Global Bands, by the way. I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, bro, we opening for Jay Critch." Da, da, da. He was like, "What?" Because he just got a single deal with Empire, actually.
That's fucking
So like it just happened, and it like boom. And then the day before this, like what we're doing, he had an interview, and like things were just like falling in line. I was like, "Yo, everything is just falling into place right now. It's like perfect." I don't know.
y'all really almost there for real. Like y'all already got with Florida, you don't get the rest of the East Coast and then Texas and then Cali, hopefully, come out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to come out there so bad. You just don't know. That's why I tell you, like touring and like shows out of state is the things we're gonna be focusing on next, really hardcore. Because we've done a lot in Florida. We really have.
That's hard. I wanted to ask you about your rap Mount Rushmore. Who you putting in that? We can make it 5 if you can't.
It's so hard for me to do that, man. I just don't put people on pedestals enough to figure out like who's I listen to so much music and I listen to so many different rappers, like I said, but I don't consume like I used to. But because I've heard so much, it's hard for me to place. But if you're asking me, there's only one person, so for a fact, and he's number one. I don't care what anybody has to say. That's just me. Long term too.
That's a really good pick.
If you're a rapper, I don't know if a lot of people know that tape, but like long term too, low key, I started rapping, but that made me want to rap even more because he was just like so real with it. And you could just tell, really, that's how it is as a rapper versus what we think it is and what's displayed to us.
For real, like I don't know if this showing my age, but the first like Absol track I ever heard was Black Lip Bastard when I was like, but that shit like opened my eyes. I'm like, damn, like.
You want to know the first song I ever heard was Terrorist Threats.
When was that?
This was like 2014 type when I first heard that. It was a long, long time ago. That's the first time I heard Absol, and then from there, I was like, "Yo, who is this?" Because at the time, I was like not liking mainstream, and I was just finding the underground at that time, and that's like Raiders Clan and all that stuff was happening before that. So I was just hearing about like Denzel, Puya, all them types of people, Xavier Wolf and whatnot. And so I'm looking more into the underground, and I'm not enjoying mainstream music at this time. And then one of my friends is like, "Oh, you got to listen to Ab Soul if you like underground stuff, da da da, da, and you like bars." Because at the time, I told you I was like hardcore with like bars and stuff, and that's why I say the East. But like, but he's from the West. So when I heard that, and then after I heard that, I was introduced to Kendrick Lamar through Ab Soul. So I have a usually it's the other way around, but like I learned about Ab Soul, then Kendrick, then Schoolboy, then J Rock.
Damn, that's great.
Yeah. And
But
I remember when they signed SZA, I was on Twitter at the time and I was like, "Yo, congratulations." And I got a response from SZA. So I know y'all don't got that. I'm letting you know right now, I got a response from SZA on Twitter.
yo, when you blow up, your like lore is gonna be insane. Like,
That's what I keep telling people. Yo, you're my first like real interview. So I was like, "Yo, I have so many stories. I can't wait to tell them. The lore is gonna be crazy."
what other you said members only? That's like is it
X
like X and stuff? Yeah.
X Bass Santana, Flyboy Tarantino, Tankhead, Ratchet Roach, like who's another one? I just seen him recently at a show. I'm forgetting his name. I don't know. But yeah, like all them boys, Kid Trunks, all of them boys, yeah.
Kid Trunks. Damn.
Yeah,
Um
bro.
what other artists have you like connected with?
Bass Santana.
Yes.
It's so funny because I used to spam, like I was an OG spammer on Twitter. I was an OG spammer. I got blocked by Wi-Fi's funeral. Almost got blocked by Puya. Like Puya gave me a warning. Wi-Fi just blocked me. And it's funny because now like we do media and we was at a show
Uh-huh.
and I see him more now and it's just so funny. Like I'm just thinking I'm like, bruh, but I had to get my music heard, you feel me? Like
Yeah.
I was like, nah, they gotta hear this. So what I would do is I would go on his posts, his newest ones, and I was underground, so I'd follow underground people and he'll post something. And every person that would like comment on his post, I would send a link. I'd reply to what they say and send a link with like a video attached. So I
Yeah.
was like stealing fans low key. And then I guess like after a week, he got super tired of it and like he blocked me for that shit.
That's fucking wild.
Um, what was the question again? Sorry, I'll be getting sidetracked.
No, you good. I got sidetracked too. You rap Mount Rushmore, yeah. You're not escaping that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm escaping that one. It's Absol. It's Absol and Most Def. I think I'll just make one and two. It's hard for me. Kendrick is definitely up there, and everybody's gonna say Kendrick should be number one, and maybe he should be, but that's not how I feel.
Nah, this is
Because
your
I just relate to Absol more. That's what it is. Like I feel like when you relate to the rapper, it's a different type of feeling towards what they do and stuff like that. But so I guess those are three. I'll go I couldn't tell you an order, but Absol, Most Def, Kendrick Lamar. Um do I want to say see this is hard, bro. This is hard. Because it's conflicted for me because I don't listen to enough mainstream. I just love the underground, bro. I don't know what's wrong with me.
yeah,
I just love the underground.
you can put that
Um,
artist in there.
I'm gonna throw another legend in there. I guess you could just throw Pac and Biggie in there, and then boom, that's five.
Right.
That's not a fair thing, and that's not something that like, oh, Lance listens to so much of this. No, I don't. I don't really listen to too much music at all. But if you're gonna ask me Mount Rushmore, I think that's a safe five for me.
That's what's up. I honestly I don't mess with people that, critique or talk down on underground music because
And they love to do that, but that's where everything's
that's
like
where it starts.
it's where the music is like the purest.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I really like it so much. But at the same time, within that, just like being the rising artist, the same reason I like it is why I hate it. That's the same thing. Like we love it because we're hearing things that nobody's done yet. Like this is the wave starters type thing. But people talk down on it so much because they've never heard anything like it before. And we're not used to things we're not used to.
Yeah.
So when we hear something that we've never heard before, we usually hate on it. I'm not gonna lie, we hate on it first.
Yeah.
And then after everybody likes it and then it becomes a common thing, then everybody likes it. But yeah, that's how it usually goes.
Yeah. So, the last question is anything else that you want to say to the audience? Like any funny thing you heard today, any words of wisdom, like anything at all?
I'll say I don't really have too much funny stuff to say, but words of wisdom, if you're gonna do anything, just stick to it, stay true to it. Don't let people like get you off of your groove, bro. Like take criticism, but don't take it to heart. Because not everybody's critique is worth anything. Some people don't do what you're doing, so they don't fully know the scope of things, or they're from a different era and they judge everything off of what they know from that time. So I would say stick to what you're doing. Don't let people talk you out of it, but be real with yourself. If you know you're not going hard at whatever it is you're doing, you have to be real with yourself and like either start doing better or like give it up. Like you have to be real with what you're doing. If you're doing things and it's like you get up, you go to work and that's it, and you're not working towards whatever goal you have, give it up.
Yeah.
Or just deem it as a hobby. And that goes for anything. That goes for anything. You work on cars and you want to be a mechanic, but it's like a hobby thing for you and you're not putting enough work into it, just leave it as a hobby. But don't try to chase things and like be too delusional about what you can and can't do without like actually putting in the work. It's hard work. Whatever you have to do in life is hard work. Nothing is just handed to us, unfortunately. But I think that's what makes us go harder and actually appreciate things because like we had to work for it. So I know when I finally get it, I'm gonna appreciate it way more than it being handed to me.
That's facts. That's facts. The wise man right here, y'all. Take that words to heart. Thanks for being on the interview today. This is the 3RD. Y'all make sure you look out for
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. October 28th, you said?
October 28th.
And then y'all check out his most recent EP, Try Hard EP, right?
Try Hard EP, yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you for having me too, by the way.
Of course, man. Of course.
You're my first interview, bro.
That's so surprising to me, actually. Like
you're my first interview. When you asked me that, I was like, bro, I'm finally getting an interview, bro. I've been waiting so long for this, bro. So I appreciate that. Like, when you get your first, you remember it forever. So I definitely won't forget this.
Man, damn, that's so nice to hear, man. So
yeah, man.
So any of y'all interviews out there, just all you have to do is ask. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It's really easy to get people to like interview with you.
Exactly. The worst they can say is no.
Yeah, but some people are so scared of like. No, I don't know what it is, but
yeah, bro, you be easy, man.
I appreciate it, man. Once again, thank you for having me, man.
Bitch, I'm about to slide. Prada on me, Louis on my side. I was fucked up way before I had arrived. Had to put that thing in drive. 40 on my head,